You are watching a clip from the Sports and Sorts podcast.
And last night's game was the Rams versus the Bears. And I had said that this game was going to be a battle.
I got the prediction right. I was proud of myself, but nowhere near the score.
No, nowhere near the score. Yes, you got the prediction right. You actually went 2-0, and I
went
0-2.
I have had a good feel. The Bears are my team this year, man. I'm telling you, that team has something. They have something.
So, I needed to see if the Rams could go in and get a win on the road in the cold.
In a tough environment, in the cold.
To see if they were a legit Super Bowl contender, and they didn't step up to the plate here. And this is a really bad sign for Rams fans, and I put myself in that boat because I've been cheering for them, except for the last 2 years. It has been it's not a really good sign when this year, last year you lost to the Falcons in the playoffs at home. And you got embarrassed. You didn't just lose. You got embarrassed 26-13. And then you go and face two good teams this year, the Saints and the Bears, and you get beat by both. And those are both on the road, but still you have to win at least one of those two games. And then particularly this weekend when they got absolutely beat up in the cold of Chicago, Goff looked bad, Gurley looked bad, the receivers looked pretty bad, dropping balls. Aaron Donald couldn't get to the quarterback. Which I was kind of nervous about anyway with Trubisky because he doesn't, if he doesn't get the ball out quick, he's looking to run or throw on the run, which makes it tough, on any pass rush. So I know I said I was out on the Steelers after last week, after the week before when they, I wasn't going to root for them. I had them originally as my Super Bowl contender, and I was out as of last week. This week compounded that even more.
Yeah, you're really out now.
Raiders. But I am not ready to give up on the Rams yet. This is I can't
give up on them, especially after they just their two losses are against high quality teams. Neither of them.
But you have to be high quality teams in the playoffs.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'd rather see them lose games like that on the road to 10 and to 11 and respectively 9-win teams than I'd rather see them lose fluky games to bad teams.
Yeah.
But here's what? I want to take a positive here because I'm in such a great mood. I want to talk more about the Bears and what they did. And here's what I really like about the Bears. And if you're a Bears fan, man, you've got a lot to look forward to. The Bears can play to their level of competition. And I don't mean that in a negative way because usually that carries a negative connotation with it when you say they play to their competition. In the case of the Bears, they play to their competition but well. Because the Bears can beat you in a number of different ways. If you want to get in a shootout, they can get in a shootout with you. They can run up a score. They can put points on the board. They're a team that can put 25 to 30 points on a board regularly if need be. But they can also play a defensive, grind-it-out battle kind of a game. And last night, I think that cold weather played a major factor. And just because you're the Bears and you play in the cold doesn't mean that it's any easier to do it. Yes, you're more used to it, but those are still tough conditions. And I think at one point, I don't remember who it was, somebody was like, they were like, oh, well, it's 26, but there's no wind. It's actually a really nice play. It's really nice playing conditions. I'm like, oh my God. No, it's not. These guys are breathing cold there. But I will tell you, though, the Bears continue to impress me. I know they've lost some – look, every game loses head-scratching games throughout the year, right? The Bears lost a head-scratcher to the Dolphins down in Miami, a game that they should have won. But the Bears are a very real team for me, and honestly, I could – don't get me wrong, I could see them losing in the first round of the playoffs, but I could also see them making some noise. Yeah. Because depending on which Bears team shows up, I actually think the scarier Bears team is the one that showed up last night. The one that held a high-powered offense down, like the Rams, who arguably have the best offense in the NFL. And keep in mind, the Rams are a healthy team right now. They're healthy on defense. They're healthy on offense. They've been healthy with the exception of Cooper Kupp being out. But you know what? Cooper Kupp is not the kind of guy that's going to prevent the Rams from winning a Super Bowl. I think what happened last night, if you see that more on the regular, that's the kind of thing that can prevent the Rams from winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
But you have to like what you saw out of the Bears last night. The Rams were not good. They couldn't get anything done. They could not get Todd Gurley on track. He had a couple of spurts towards the end of the game where he broke a few runs for like 10 or 11 yards.
They were kind of letting him. They were letting him run at that point in time.
They were, right, because at that point they were up by 9 points, and they were like, this team's going to have to get 2 scores on us to beat us.
Yeah.
So but I'll tell you what, man, if you're a Bears fan, even if this isn't your year, there is a lot to look forward to there. The foundation is good. And you have to like what you saw out of them last night. You've got a great, creative, young head coach in Nagy. And you know what? Your quarterback is more than just solid. He's more than just a game manager. That is a guy who I think can win games for them. And your defense showed you last night that they are the identity of that team.
Yeah, for me, as the Rams, obviously you want to cheer on the Bears and everything. Like, they did a lot of good things, but they didn't play well either. I mean, offensively, I think this is the problem with the Bears. The problem with the Bears is I think that this always happens with good defensive teams, is that they end up getting on the field way too much. And like particularly yesterday, Trubisky he hit 3 picks. You know, he had a bad game. Eventually, the Bears are going to come out, and they're going to come after him. His defense is going to be like, come on, you have to give us a break. And this isn't like, like the Trent Dilfers of the world that are game managers. This is like he's putting their defense in a bad spot. But, if you can't win, as far as the Rams goes, if you can't win big games at home in the playoffs, can't win big games on the road against good teams, and can't play in the cold, these are all bad signs, and when it gets cold, that's when truly the big games are played. And you also need to play well against good teams on the road. The Bears played bad on offense yesterday, and you still couldn't get the win. That is totally on Goff and McVay, 100%.
If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You have just watched a clip from Sports and Sorts, where we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday on YouTube. Thanks for watching.